So I genuinely thought that I was going to make a video about haute couture overall, but I saw Alber and his Easy Factory debut fashion film, and I needed to talk about it because I was watching it in the last half hour at work. I shouldn't have, because it got me unreasonably emotional, but here we are, and I'm so happy he's back. He's one of my favorites, and he was one of those designers in the mid 2000s that kind of really defined the era. But I really want to just get started and rewatch AC Factory. Let's do it. I'm so excited. If I'm looking off screen, it's because I have my iPad sitting here. This is so cheeky.
My name is Beth. I'm here to show.
It almost feels like Zoolander.
We're here with all the girls getting ready for the show now.
I love how you can't really tell who is staff and who are the models. Like there's this shot of one of the Chinese girls just walking out in full Easy Factory, but she looks like staff. I think that's great. Oh, also, I love designers that illustrate. I love designers who bring joy to their work. Seeing the return of Alber, it's really fucking great. It tells me, it's almost like a sign, a beacon of light that fashion is coming back in a big way after an era of like the hype beastness of it all, you know? I'm looking forward to a little bit of old-fashioned glamour, basically. But joy is so important for me in fashion. It doesn't really have a soul without it. So he's talking about, you know, the research that he was doing after taking a step back from fashion, and I think that's so important because fashion really does have a way of burning through their creative directors, just squeezing everything they have from them. And you know, it's a miracle that they get out alive, honestly, because it's so much responsibility, it's so much to balance.
Hello guys.
And it's really not a job for everyone. There are some people that really are just better off having their own brands. Oh, here's another thing that I love. The fact that he could have gone with naming the brand after himself, because plenty of designers do that, right? But I kind of love that, you know, he's acknowledging the people that he works with, because without those people, the brand can't really, no man is an island, especially in fashion. It's so collaborative. It requires so many hands, so many eyes, you know, so many brains really to create this cumulative thing, you know, the final product. Comme des Garçons comes to mind in terms of, you know, oh, I'm not the center of everything. It's my team. We all do this too. We all collaborate and contribute to create this one big thing.
He's just a magician. And to make that magical dress that will make
a magician making that magical dress
with the body she dreams to have.
He's got such a sense of wonder about how he thinks about fashion. He's something special, I think. Like, he's very specific, you know? I love that this video covers the production of the fabric, because I don't know, that's a really underrated aspect, you know? I love knit. I just know nothing about it. There's something so incredibly technical about it that I can't really wrap my head around. It's almost like math. It's physics, like. So I have so much respect for the people who do it well, or like do it for a living. It's kind of like really incredible to watch. This feeds into the factory aspect of the brand, which I really like. When you make knit, it is a lot more generous, right? And it fits a lot more bodies. And this is what I mean about this is alber unleashed, because he gets to this is I never knew that this was part of his vocabulary. It was because that was never really evident at Lambon, but that was also a different era. So again, like, you know, stepping away from fashion for a little bit and coming back with this, you know, you've just collected all of these other perspectives, and then you come back with all of these ideas, all of these things that you really just kind of want to put back out into the world. I don't know, it's very smart. You know, taking breaks, coming back. That should apply to just industry in general, but you know, we live in a capitalist society. On with the show. My body. See, I wouldn't call it capsules, but they are kind of very specifically split. The face veils are great. Ooh, here's another thing I really like. Styling with sneakers. You've got these beautiful, what are essentially cocktail dresses, styled with sneakers. That's my favorite thing. I've always been a sucker for the whole formal, informal gap thing. Ugh, I have this idea sitting in my drafts where I just wanted to talk about how John Galliano did this really incredible fashion film with Nick Knight for Haute Couture. Was it last season? I think it was last season. That was really narrative driven and went behind the scenes of his process in a really kind of voyeuristic way. In terms of, you know, cinematography and storytelling, I think that was very an interesting way to go about it, and that's something you can't really do if you just do a physical show. I don't know, I'm a huge sucker for behind the scenes stuff, I think. And so I love that this this fashion film that AZ Factory has produced kind of takes in all the best elements. So footage from behind the scenes of a fashion show that's not really a fashion show. It's satirical of how, you know, almost like how a TV show or a news show is produced, which I think is a pretty cute twist on the whole thing. Because I think fashion films can very easily skew pretentious. That's just my opinion anyway. No one's gonna watch this, it's fine.
I think it's great. I don't see the dresses anymore. I see the women, and
I don't see the dresses anymore. I see the women. That is exactly who Alber Elbaz is as a designer. He designs for the woman. Like, his clothes are fucking great, but they're great because they look like they belong on women. I don't know, just a thought.
so happy that those dresses don't make you disappear. They make you appear, and that's what I love. You know, I was asking.
I'm glad that they don't make you disappear, they make you appear. That's what I love. There are lots of designers that are quite happy to go the full Monty and with their creative vision. No hate against that. I'm just saying that it's a very specific skill to kind of design for, you know, a faceless muse in your mind, but for the clothes to kind of enhance the person who wears the clothes. Like, technically speaking, that's what a fashion designer's job is, but I'm also saying that there are lots of designers, they design with more of a self-involved perspective. So it's more kind of like they're imposing their universe on a woman's body, if that makes sense.
Myself so many times, how come all the clothes that men's are wearing are in the front, buttons, zippers, but all the dresses for women are always in the back?
He's questioning why men's closures, like the zippers and the buttons and everything, are in the front, so they're accessible, they're clothes that make sense, but women's zippers are in the back. So his design solution was to add zipper pulls, like in surfer suits. It makes a woman's life so much easier. Not some women are very flexible and have no issue with invisible zippers. But you know, it's a matter of making these garments more accessible, which I think is really, really cool. I think what's cool about this as well is that it demands a lot of the models as well. Models are, you know, it's a really difficult job. They not only need to look good, but there are projects like this that, you know, require acting chops. It requires, you know, memorizing a script. It's not enough to just be pretty and know how to smolder at a camera. Not anymore. Not in this economy. The accessories for this little skit. They're off the charts, man. Alber did some really great pieces for Lamvan when he was there, and it was such a big part of like my magpie tendencies when I was in uni. This just kind of drives it home. Love it. It's such a look. And it's so effortless as well. Just like pile it all on, you know? Chanel was wrong. You don't need to take one piece off. You don't need to. The shot of the zipper pull in the back. That's great. How can we create the future together? How can we push the boundaries of haute couture? This emphasis on process. That's something that's really kind of stuck with me from my uni days. I studied fashion design, so like this is, you know, the perspective that I'm approaching this from. The emphasis on the manufacturing, you know, the technical know-how in combination with creative vision. I just love seeing it on screen. Okay, like I think it's been made very easy to kind of put creative directors on a pedestal. I still do that, and kind of disavow, or rather minimize the efforts of all the other people that put their heart and soul into, you know, providing certain specific kinds of know-how, into assisting the creative director in realizing the vision, the big picture. I think that's what fashion is about.
I heard the weather is playing some tricks on us today.
This is my favorite part. Super Tech Chic is the name of this section.
And this is Fashion News on AZ TV. We have a great Benta. Are you naked?
No, I'm not naked. I'm wearing this beautiful.
Again, these models, you know, being able to show personality like that,
I think we have
speaking from experience, it's really difficult to kind of like pull it out of certain girls.
Can I get
Silhouette, so good.
Anna, are you with us?
The fact that these are technical fabrics and they look like, you know, old Balenciaga. I'm talking about when Cristobal was still alive Balenciaga. It's really couture silhouettes. This entire video is just me fangirling over alber.
We all discovered we
This project reflects the moment we are living today.
have a home. We stay home. We work at home. And I was thinking about all these women that are wearing jogging suits and leggings and hoodies, and in one moment they have to be ready. I was thinking about all these.
He's thinking about women who are working from home and women who wear nothing but sweatsuits at home. I've always been a really big stan of fashion pajamas because maximum comfy can be an aesthetic. So what he's done here is do exactly that. The saturated colors. I tend to stick to quite a rigid color story oftentimes when I was designing my own collections. But I love super saturated, super poppy primary colors. My god, that was that was really on the edge of my tongue. Yeah, primary colors. I don't know, they're just really good fallbacks. They look really good most of the time. In the right fabric, they look really expensive. I guess I have the color sense of a 5-year-old. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But, you know, experimentation is part of the process. These colors are so unapologetic, and that is the thing that kind of really strikes me in the heart. Because I love to feel unapologetic with whatever it is that I'm wearing. These really poofy silhouettes are just really doing it for me.
But you know what? I miss some love. And thank you for letting us hear.
So many likes, but I need some love. Wow, same, dude. We were laughing, we were stressing, and we were laughing, crying sometimes. That is the entire fashion experience, to be honest. Blood, sweat, and tears, but you do it together. And if the product, you know, speaks for itself, it was all worth it. I miss that. I'm so happy that Richemont decided to back this. I love you too.
Thank you for watching the AZ show fashion. It was a wonder.
That was an event for Converse several years ago. And he was in Tokyo promoting it. And I managed to go. And when I say I kind of lost my mind, I was generally kind of having a breakdown, like a full fangirl breakdown. Because he's such a shining light and continues to be, you know? But he just makes me so happy. Like, he's one of those people I genuinely feel deserves his position in fashion. And it's just so nice to see nice people win. Ooh, was that shady? Oh well.
Goodbye.
Maybe he just has really good PR. Who knows, right? My body is available now, and all the other little tiny capsules will be available later on. Rick Owens, Susie Menkes, Marc Jacobs, Pier Paolo. Good luck.
I can't wait to see all the magic you will bring.
Mark looks fucking
You're
great.
essential, and I've missed you, and I love you.
Yes, he is essential. It's just nice seeing his friends welcome him back.
All the luck and all the love in the world in your new adventure.
But again, you know, like I said before, it's nice to see nice people win. And it's over. I had just as great a time rewatching that. Stan Alber Albaz. This video is literally just me going on for God knows how many minutes about how much I love him and how glad I am that he's back. Because I'm really, really glad that he's back. And so far, the first project, I had my doubts about it in the beginning. Just looking at, you know, who was backing it, and because Richemont doesn't really have, to my knowledge, just off the top of my head, any of the big houses in their possession. But I'm really liking the look of this project so far. And I'm really, really eager to see what this stuff looks like in real life, because right now it's just looking like his stockists are Farfetch and Net-a-Porter. I would love to see how this stuff wears in real life. So I have a good feeling. There's not a lot of designers who I think designs well across the size spectrum. I don't know, is that a reflection on ability as a designer? Not necessarily. I feel, well, actually, if you're a creative director looking to maximize profits, then I think it just makes sense to be able to design for everybody. But like I said, there are lots of designers who kind of get into their own universes and they have a very specific muse in mind, and they will only design for that one muse in their head. That's the thing about fashion. It doesn't really live until it, you know, ends up on someone's body. That's not necessarily a model, right? I really enjoyed this. Oh, I'm just so happy about it. I'm so happy to see him back. I'm so happy to see him, you know, designing with the joy that I remember him having. Thank you for listening to me go on and on and on and on about how much I love alber and how much I hope for the success of AZ Factory. So far so good. We'll see. Yeah. Bye.